Okay, so the chapter one in the American history book is the world before the opening of the Atlantic. And this is section one that we're going to be covering, and it is the earliest Americans. Your main idea climate changes allowed Pueblo Indians to begin the first migration to the Americas. Early societies existed in Mesoamerica and South America. The big idea is Native American societies developed across Mesoamerica and South America. All right, so the first migration to the Americas. Many scientists believe that the first people arrived in North America during the last ice age. At the start of the ice age, Earth's climate became intensely cold. Large amounts of frozen water froze into huge moving sheets of ice called glaciers. As a result, ocean levels dropped more than 300 feet lower than they are today. When the sea level fell, a land bridge between northeastern Asia and the present day Alaska was exposed. Geographers call this strip of land the Bering Land Bridge. Although no one knows exactly when and how people crossed into North America, evidence suggests that people called Pueblo Indians crossed this bridge into Alaska between 38,000 and 10,000 BC. The migration, a movement of people or animals from one region to another took place a long time, over a long time. It is believed that Pueblo Indians traveled south into Canada, the United States, and Mexico following herds of animals. Over time, their descendants went as far as the southern tips of South America. These people were hunter gatherers, people who hunted animals and gathered wild plants for food. Land migration of early people. About 8,000 BC, Earth's climate grew warmer and the Ice Age ended. Rising temperatures melted glaciers. Water levels in the ocean rose and the Bering Land Bridge was covered with water. The warmer climate at the end of the Ice Age created new environments, climates, and landscapes that surrounded living things. Large herds of animals, such as buffalo and deer, ate new short grass and that thrived in the warm climates. As the number of these animals grew, Pueblo Indians hunted these animals for survival. Varied environments influenced the development of different Native American societies or groups that shared a culture. Culture is a group's set of common values and traditions, including language, government, and family relationships. Like all societies, Native American groups changed over time. People planted seeds and eventually they learned to breed animals, farm, and grow plants. Maize or corn was one of their most important early crops. Later, they learned to grow beans and squash. Farming allowed people to stop moving around looking for food and to settle into one place. With adequate food supplies, settlements could support large populations. As populations grew, more advanced societies began to develop. Early Mesoamerica and South American societies. Some of the earliest American cultures arose in Mesoamerica, a region that includes the southern part of what is now Mexico and the northern part of Central America. Olmec and Maya. Around 1200 BC, the Olmec developed the earliest known civilization in Mesoamerica. The Olmec are known for their use of stone in architecture and sculpture. They built the first pyramid in the Americas, and they created sculptures of huge stone heads. When their civilization ended around 400 BC, trade had spread Olmec culture throughout the region. Like the Olmec, the Maya grew maize and other crops and lived in small villages. These villages traded goods with each other, and by about AD 200, the Maya were building large cities. The Maya cities had pyramids, large stone temples, palaces, and bridges. The Maya also paved large plazas for public gatherings and built canals to control the flow of water throughout the city. In the 900s, Maya civilization began to collapse. Historians are still not sure what caused the great civilization decline. Aztec. The Aztec were fierce warriors, and their superior military ability was key to their success. Around the mid 1100s AD, the Aztecs migrated south to Central America. They conquered many towns, made allies to build their empire, and conquered and controlled a huge trade network. In AD 1325, the Aztecs founded their capital Tenochtitlan Te- Tenochtitlan on an island in Lake Texaco. It became the largest city in the Americas and one of the world's largest cities. The city island location made it travel and trade difficult. So the Aztecs built raised roads to connect the island to the shore. Trade and tribute paid by conquered people in the form of cotton, gold, and food made the Aztecs rich. By early 1500, they ruled the most powerful state in Mesoamerica, the Inca. The Inca began as a small tribe in the Andes Mountains of South America. They named their capital city Cusco. In in the mid 1400s, the Inca began to expand their territory. By the 1500s, the empire stretched along the Pacific coast from what is now northern Ecuador to central Chile. In time, the empire was home to about 12 million people. The Inca formed a strong central government with a king as a ruler. The official language of the empire was Quichua. Because there was no written language, record was kept on a system of knotted strings called Quila. The Inca are known for building and for art. Massive buildings and forts were made of huge stone blocks. An advanced system of highways ran through the length of the empire. Paved roads and rope bridges connected all parts of the Inca territory. This enabled the Inca to communicate with the with and control their large empire. Summary and preview. Early people migrated into northern and southern America and developed societies. In the next section, you will learn about the Native American culture in North America.